Hello Aries, welcome to your May 2020 reading. Thanks for joining me. My name is Michelle. Special welcome to my podcast listeners on Apple and Spotify. This reading is for sun signs, moon signs, rising signs, and also Venus as well. Let's take a look for you, Aries. Overall, the month feels very much a time of personal reflection. It feels to me that a lot of emotion is coming to the surface, but there's not a lot of action. So let's take a look. We'll start the month here with you. We've got the Page of Cups and the Seven of Cups. So I do feel that this is about how you want to express yourself. There's a feeling here of artistic expression as well, or creative expression. And I do feel a sense of idealism around you beginning the month. So I'm getting a feeling, Aries, that you may be spending a lot of time dreaming, daydreaming, wishing for something to happen. Very much a feeling here of creative thinking. I like it because it tells me that you're starting to think outside of the norm. You're starting to think about creative ways to express yourself. And by doing that, I feel that you're also thinking about potential money and how to make money from this as well. So that's really nice to see. The danger with this kind of thinking, though, is just keeping it as daydreams without actually doing. So I see you starting to think about how you could potentially use your abilities, use your artistic skills or your creative abilities to perhaps earn money. You know, we've all gone through a lot of upset lately, so it may be Aries that you're needing to think outside the box here, perhaps in other ways for you to make money. And Aries, we have the cards of the Lovers in reverse and the Chariot. Now, even though the Chariot is normally associated with the sign of Cancer, in this case I'm seeing it very much as Aries energy. I'm seeing it as you having the drive, the determination to carry out any kind of dream or goal that you have. But the way that I'm feeling around this is that you're keeping yourself blocked or stuck in terms of making a decision. I feel this reading is mostly about making a choice. And making a choice to follow a more authentic path, because what I'm getting here, especially with this Hierophant card, is this vibration of knowledge, of being on a quest for knowledge, really. So there's a feeling here of looking into yourself in order to unearth any kind of lost or buried part of the self. There's a need to integrate some kind of neglected piece, something that's been forgotten over time, in order for you to step into the power of this Chariot here and once again know yourself and know what you want to do. So it may be that during the recent downtime that a lot of us have had, not all of us have had that, of course, some of us have been super busy, others of us have had time to reflect. So Aries, if you're one of the people who've had time to reflect, and to have time to look really within the self here, to regain that knowledge about the self. I feel that for you, there's been some kind of epiphany or breakthrough with the Tower, especially with the star right next to it, which tells me that something is destined for you. And you know it, but it's been forgotten over a period of time, Aries. It's something that was buried beneath layers. If you think of the earth, because I'm getting kind of an earthy energy around this. In the past, you were very kind of stuck there, very grounded for a long time, but it was whatever this creative side of yourself was, it was buried way deep in those rocks there, and it hadn't come up to the surface for a very long time. But I feel that it's coming to the surface. It's re-emerging, and it's part of who you are, Aries. It's more of an artistic bent, someone who's maybe just a little bit more of the poet, the dreamer, That kind of energy that I'm picking up around you. You've always had that drive, you've always had that ambition with whatever you wanted to achieve, but this feels a little bit different around you. So I get you as recognizing what this is recently. It's very recent energy. And it is this very much this wishful, I'm getting this wishful thinking around this. A lot of wishful thinking. So now that you know what this is, there's this sense of knowing who you are. The next step for you is all about making the choice. Making a choice between taking a risk and going for it, or staying safe. That's going to be up to you, but I feel that that's what we're talking about here in the month of May. When I look at that Hierophant, I look at that as knowledge about the self and knowledge about what aligns with your true values. So I feel that whatever this quest is, or whatever this goal is, this dream of yours that had long been buried, I do feel that this is something that was for your highest good. You know, the intentions around this are pure. I'm not getting any kind of unpure intentions around this. Yeah, you're being encouraged to take action on the thing that feels authentically you. There's in essence a sense around this of, once you've reclaimed that lost or buried part of the self, acting upon it, as long as it's in your highest good. That's very much the energy that I'm getting here. It can't arise from a place of ego, but rather from a place of leadership, and for the highest good of not just you, but for everyone around you. Now, with the Ten of Wands in reverse, Aries, I'm getting this as, in the past, you may have taken on a lot of things or burdens that were not your own, carrying the burdens of others as your own. But for you here, I get an essence of this has blocked your destiny with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And we also have the King of Cups in the reverse as well. So for you, it's not being in touch with that more emotional side of the self. There's a feeling here of blocking out your emotions. Mainly because you felt that you needed to, kind of suck it up and just keep calm and carrying on, that kind of energy. I do get that feeling around you. So you've kind of put your own needs, your own desires to the side while you've dealt with other people's struggles, problems. You know, could be family, could be children, whatever it is there. But I get that there's an essence here of you fearing that this is going to always be the case for you, that you'll never be able to break out of this energy. We've got the World in reverse. We also have the Six of Wands. So the feeling that I'm getting around this is that you know that there's something more for you, and you know that it's calling. It's this higher calling energy. Something that's going to be successful. And that's the thing. I think you're fearing that it won't be successful, that if you follow your heart, or you follow more of this artistic nature of yourself, more of this creative side, that you won't be able to make money from it. You know, that's what you're fearing. I think in the past you've gone towards more of following the path of going to college, learning a skill, Aries, becoming skilled and then using that skill to make money in more of the traditional sense, being paid by somebody else, you know, going to work for a corporation. But the thing that I'm getting around you now is more of an individualistic bent, you know, wanting to step away from that, step away from the corporate world and be more yourself, more your own boss. But you're fearing that as well. You're fearing that that's not going to be successful, and you're fearing that it's not going to give you the money that you want. because let's face it, you're also thinking about your future as well. So for you, I think that you're kind of in an in-between place at the moment, Aries, where you're thinking about changing a career or changing a job and being more focused on something that is going to bring in the money that you can do yourself, perhaps at home, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be more of something that a business that you're starting outside the home. But I actually feel for a lot of you, Aries, it's mostly about working from something that you can do at home. It's kind of like something that you've kept as a hobby, or something that you've kept as something that you really, really love to do, but in the past you haven't really made money from it. It's that kind of feeling. And now you're starting to think, well, how can I make money from this thing that I really love to do? Because the goal, I think, for everybody is to make money from the thing that we really love to do, and that way it doesn't feel like work, right, Aries? And I think that's your dream. That's the dream for you. Now, the High Priestess in reverse and the Two of Pentacles. What I'm getting around this, Aries, is that you really need to dive deep here to make sure that whatever you feel, it has to be a feeling. It has to be that gut feeling. It's not so much about the intellect here or reasoning. It's more about your gut, what feels right to you, what feels true to you. And pure. I can't stress that enough. It's a pure intention. You have to listen to that, because there's a feeling around you of denying that part of yourself that feels, and just staying true to this past version of you, Aries, which is more about reason and logic and keeping yourself in that place of fear, really, because it's the thoughts here that prevent you from taking action. Those fear-based thoughts of I can't, or all the reasons why you think you can't in your head. A lot of negativity that I'm picking up, because I'm getting that as a potential block for you. I've got the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Nine of Swords in reverse, and the King of Swords, as your thoughts are what's blocking movement. Your thoughts are what's holding you back. This more calculated version of you, Aries, someone who sits back and says, no, I need to do the right thing. I need to do the right thing for everybody else, that kind of feeling. But I think that's more about fear. I think that's more fear talking than actual reason or logic. The thing that I'm getting around you, Aries, is that you are someone who is looked on as having a lot of integrity. And that's important to you. You want to be seen as someone who maintains that integrity. You don't want to be seen as someone who is silly, making foolish choices. No, you want to be seen as someone who is intelligent and makes intelligent choices. And I feel that there's someone around you, could be male or female, who you fear the judgment of. It could be a father figure or a boss, someone who you look up to. Could be air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But I get that this person can be quite judgmental or harsh, or stern, and they really follow the letter of the law. So they're not likely to look kindly at someone who makes kind of emotional choices. Now, that can also be elements of you, but I feel for some of you, Aries, it's someone around you, someone that you don't want to disappoint, someone that you don't want to let down, male or female. But the thing that I'm getting around you is that you have this emotional side of yourself which you have not shown. I don't think you've been able to show it to this person either, because I do get that this individual doesn't look kindly at that. You know, they want you to be like them. It could be a father for some of you. I get more of a paternal energy around that. But the thing is, this energy has the potential to keep you stuck. I've got the Eight of Cups in reverse and the Devil. Keep you blocked. There's a attachment to this person. Attachment to a family figure, attachment to being seen as someone who makes very clinical choices, very reasoned choices, and doesn't pay attention to the heart. Takes the heart out of the equation. But I don't think that sits well with you, Aries. The thing is, you've done this for so long, especially when it comes to trying to please this person, that I get you want to break free of that. You want to break out of that. You have felt for a long time that you've been playing it safe. You've been playing it by the rules, and you feel denied. You feel like you're denying parts of yourself, burying parts of yourself, blocking what feels to you like your destiny, something that you dream about, something that you fantasize about, but haven't actually been able to do. Now, we also have the Two of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. So for you, I like this because it tells me that you have people around you who are supportive, and all you need to do is reach out. Reach out to the people around you who love and support you and aren't going to be judgmental, because I get that while you tend to be someone who reaches out to this person for advice, it's telling me that that's probably not the best course of action for you right now. Because if you listen to this person, I feel that you won't do this. And you may regret that, listening to this person. So the thing that I'm seeing here is, rather than reach out for advice or keep reaching out for advice with this person, keep your own counsel. Listen to your gut feeling. What feels right to you? Because it tells me that if you follow your heart, you follow your passion, however you want to express yourself creatively here and make money from it, I see you being able to achieve success with this. And that's what this person really doesn't want to see you do for some reason. I get there's an energy around this individual. They just want you to be like them. And they don't understand this part of yourself that wants to go towards this more heart-based feelings that I'm getting around you here. So you've recently had some kind of epiphany, some breakthrough, a moment where you have encountered this lost or buried part of yourself. And the thing is, you like that. You like this new version of yourself. You want to show it to other people. But this person, I think, they're kind of like a wet blanket, or they'll throw cold water. I get them throwing cold water on this dream of yours, Aries. And they keep you, they want to keep you under their control. There's very much a controlling aspect to this person. They don't want you to supersede them or overtake them in any way. Yeah, and I get you have been blocked in the past by being overburdened by other people's stuff, dealing with other people's things, other people's problems, taking a lot of responsibility for other people, and them looking to you to be like the savior, that kind of feeling. So for you, Aries, I'm getting very much an energy of changing your viewpoint about how you can make money. Whereas in the past, you took more of the traditional route, got the office job, went the corporate route. I get you now having a realization that, that's not me, that's not my love. I want to change. I want to change my career. I want to do something that I really feel a passion for. I don't want to bury that part of myself anymore, and I see that you want to bring that out, and it's going to bring you success if you make the decision and put the hard work associated with it. You can't just dream. You can't just fantasize here. Once you have this knowledge, it's not something that you can put away and ignore anymore. Once it's there in the forefront of your mind, I get you need to take action on this. And ignore this person around you that's trying to prevent this. They seem to be planting all kinds of fears and doubts in your mind. And that's going to keep you stuck. They want to keep you blocked. They want to keep you there with them. You know, they're probably very unhappy themselves, so they want to keep you like that. So the feeling that I'm getting around you here, Aries, is not to play it safe anymore, to break out. And the thing is, for you, I get that you want to move on to something or someone new. You want to make the choice, of course. But it could be that this has been brought on by the recent situations in the world. So it may have come to the forefront during that particular time where you've had to sort through. Forces outside yourself may have started the change. Could be a downsizing of a company, or it could even be for some of you fearing the loss of a job, or actually losing a job, Aries. So having the power. I see with the Chariot there, you do have the power. The Hierophant, you've got the knowledge. The knowledge of what is your goals, and they're aligned. I get very much a spiritual component to these cards as well, aligned with your higher self. So you have pure intent, and as a result, I get that this world wants to open up to you, but it's blocked at the moment. So even if you've been hesitant, fearful, you are more powerful than you think, and you no longer have to limit yourself. Playing it safe here, you don't have to limit yourself. And for you, it's about whether or not you want to step out of this comfort zone here. Well, actually, it's become an uncomfort zone. I don't feel that whatever this comfort was in the past, you don't feel it the way that you used to about it. It actually feels quite uncomfortable. And I get that for you, taking this risk will actually be the more comfortable choice for you, Aries. Because I have a feeling that this was probably never you to begin with. This more corporate kind of energy. So stepping out of that, the feeling that I'm getting around you, Aries, is releasing the old you, releasing old stuck emotions, being strong, becoming more the leader that you always meant to be. But it doesn't come from ego. It comes from a place of being inspired and for the highest good of all. So shining authentically and without fear. The thing is, you have at your disposal a number of choices, a number of decisions to make. And as a result, I get that can either make you really nervous or fearful or excited. You might be a little bit of both, but I think that if you don't listen to this person, it's more excitement. What dampens down the excitement is this person throwing cold water at you, saying you can't do it. That's what really drags you down here emotionally and keeps you stuck. So seek out people who are supportive. Seek out people who love and support you. And I feel that excitement will conquer those fears. So Spirit here is bolstering your ability to decide what you want to do. And while advice from someone else can be helpful, you really do have to listen to your heart here and check in with your values before making your own decisions. So you don't have to feel bound by this person or their critique of you. And you certainly don't have to be bound by any kind of scarcity thinking here. If you believe in the universal flow, if you're no longer blocking this wheel here by taking on other people's burdens as your own and blocking your own emotional flow here, you will instead realize that you have a freedom of choice where you feel like you haven't had that freedom of choice in the past. And that in turn will bring in, once you get into this more emotional flow, because I'm getting a lot of emotions in this reading, once you get into that emotional flow and start to feel more, I get a sense of purpose in your life and doing what you love, that's when even more abundance will come to you. So rather than blocking the abundance or thinking to yourself, oh, you know, I need this corporate job or I need this other job to make money, rather than thinking about that, it's more about realizing that if you're doing what you truly, truly love, the money will come, the money will flow, because it's who you're meant to be. With this star card and the Wheel of Fortune, I get very much an energy here of something that is designed for you. It's your purpose in life. So Aries, I'm going to get one more card here from the Fairy Oracle, and then we'll leave it there for you for the month of May. Please do like, share and subscribe if you're a newcomer, and special thank you to my podcast listeners on Apple and Spotify. So let's take a look here, Aries. Protect your dreams. Yeah, you are the guardian of your precious dreams and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them. Yeah, be careful about this person. I've got it as the King of Swords. Whoever that is in your life, I feel that they're going to attempt to prevent you from doing this by planting seeds of fear and doubt. As long as you don't listen to that and you stay with that, stay with your gut, stay with your heartfelt desire, stay with the excitement, I see you being able to take this risk. And I feel that in the future, as long as the hard work and the skill and you put all of your effort towards it, I see you being able to pull this off. And it is with the help of other people as well. So I get other people will be on board with this dream, with this desire of yours. So I'm going to leave it there for you, Aries. Wishing you all the best for May. Please take care and bye for now.